Hi, this is Pierre-Yves Delacote, working at Planet Technologies. Today I wanted to talk about strategy. Um, when you're deploying a technology and you're building a change management plan, actually you're defining a strategy depending on the assessment you did. Um, you define the best strategy corresponding to your culture, the context, the goal, your vision. So I just want to come back on strategy and telling you a story. So I worked several years ago on a big project deploying a bunch of new collaborative technology. There was an enterprise social network, there was a collaborative environment, there was an innovation environment. And there were three streams going each their way with different stakeholders. And so um, I've been asked to try to build a general roadmap and bring all those initiatives to one strategy, which was how do we enable a collaborative environment for all the employees. It was a big commercial company. Um, within a single strategy, and which which will be more understandable for the end users, for the employees. So there were executive sponsors. Actually, there were two. There were the HR director and the chief digital officer. And so we were meeting every month. We have an executive committee every month. And so we were discussing during this executive committee. First, I explained, I did a diagnosis. So I met with, I don't remember, maybe 30 different people within the company. They had different roles. I met with central people and with the field people, and establish disconnection between those two entities, which is usually the case because central has idea how to do the business, and the field is doing the business. The region and the field are doing the business, and often there's a disconnection. One interesting story was that there was somebody in the central organization who was owning the innovation, and he was trying to find people within the field to bring their ideas and new innovation. And they were willing to reward the field when they had a good idea and give them some money to develop the innovation they were starting. And on the other hand, I've been interviewing a lot of people in the field, and they were telling me that they had ideas and they wanted to innovate, and they didn't know that there was somebody in the central organization who was dealing with innovation. So there was a lack of understanding who's doing what, and the central was complaining about the field, and the field was complaining about the central. So that was crazy. So I was reporting that kind of finding to the really, really top management. And so every month we were meeting, and um, unfortunately, during those meetings, the the top manager said to me and to the rest of the team, we were maybe 20 people around the table. Um, and the management said, okay, it's an interesting finding. So next time you come back with some idea how to solve this. So the next meeting, 1 month after, we came back with ideas how to better connect people, especially with the tool they were deploying. That they could be those tools could help to connect people, definitely, and better understand who's doing what and what are the expectations, and maybe they could discuss those topics within these platforms. And so the next meeting we explained that was one strategy is to connect people within communities, and so that people can exchange their ideas, and we gave some real use case that will be beneficial. And the top management say, okay, that's a good idea, that's a good feedback, but we need more evidence because it might be a risk if we connect those people with those people. We don't know what's going to happen. And that discussion went on and on for 6 months. So there were no decision made. The meetings were every month, and in between meetings, we were not having a conversation with the C-suites. So that was not collaboration. So basically, we were talking about how to build a collaborative environment, a collaborative workplace, but we were not able to, they were not able to collaborate unless they were meeting every month. So that's not collaboration. Collaboration should occur every day. And that was the main problem. So my point is not to criticize any customer. I'll never be the case. I just had this feedback. It's a reality. Culture are different. People are different. And sometimes there are blockers because evidently for this company, there were more risks to try a new way of working, at least not for the company, but for the decision maker. There were more risk, or at least it was uncertain. So my point here is to say, what do you do in this situation when you see that the top management is not really ready to take the risk because they're not sure 100% that it will work, the new way of working will work? So what we did with the customer, so with the change management, the CDO, which was really into transforming the company, we decided to be more tactical. So from strategy, we moved to tactics. And the tactics here was to work with the business unit, the field, who were inclined to change the way they were working because they were the one who were doing the business, and they were really willing to go and change the way they collaborate with an environment which is more open, more transparent. So we changed the strategy to adopt a new tactics, which was to do the same strategy, but within one business unit and then another business unit, and the word of mouth went through all the business units. And then after having several real use cases where the collaborative environment worked well, the way people were collaborating with this new notion of transparency, when it went well, we were able to showcase that to the direction and to the top management, and they were more convinced, and then they embraced themselves. They embraced this change, and they were ready to communicate about it more broadly within the enterprise. So my point here is when you define a strategy, you feel it's the right strategy, and you have hurdles, and especially when the hurdles are in the management, the top management, it's hard because you have the feeling that you're going to do something that not going to work because you don't have the sponsors really into this change. So change your strategy to adopt a tactic and try to find where your strategy will work the best. Run that, and little by little you embrace through your success. This will surround all the, maybe you remember the late majority, and the laggards will follow because they will see that it works and they have no reason not to follow. So go from strategy to tactics when it doesn't work. That was the tip of the day. Bye.